Hello everyone who's watching this video. This is the Cluster and Cloud Computing Project user interface demo, and we are group 17. The aim of this project is to find interesting stories in Australian cities by using the tweets harvested across Australia and data from AURIN, the Australian Urban Research Infrastructure Network. We have 6 analytic scenarios across 5 main cities in Australia. 3 scenarios are at city level, and the other 3 of them are at suburb level. Let's move to the city level scenarios first. The first one is the relationship between the number of tweets that mention coronavirus and the number of followers those tweets posters have. Um, that is, are the users with more followers more likely to mention coronavirus in their tweets? Um, there are reasons for us coming up with this scenario. Users with more followers usually have a greater sense of social responsibility than normal people, so they may care more about the virus, which is affecting everyone. Also, users would draw more attention from the public if they talk more about hot topics. Well, there's always a reason that someone is the one with more followers. As a result, we can see that our assumption is correct, and a larger proportion of the tweets mentioned coronavirus are from Twitter users who have more than 500 followers, but only few of them were tweeted by users who have less than 100 followers. Um, the situation in each city are basically the same. The next scenario is the young people's preferences when tweeting. We would like to see whether a city has more night tweets and located tweets if the city has larger proportion of young people. By young people, I mean people aged between 15 to 35. Um, and night tweets are the ones that were tweeted between 11 p.m. to 4 a.m. We made a guess that young people are more likely to stay up late, and um, young people would love to share where they are when they tweet to show some you know nice food or some fancy activities or stuff like that. So they have their location label turned on, but the result shows that there's no such relationship. It might be um, explained by the fact that we are in a very special period. So people don't want to share their locations because uh, they have they have nowhere to go, um, and Twitter might not be the nice social media choice for young people because also have Instagram and Facebook, etc. Um, from plot, we can see that Perth is the city with the biggest proportion of night tweets, and Adelaide is the one um, with biggest proportion of located tweets. The third city scenario is tweeting frequency uh, versus the proportion of people who speak English as their mother tongue. The result shows that cities with lower proportion of native speakers have a relatively high tweeting density. For example, Melbourne has um, only 62% of people whose mother tongue is English, but there are uh, about like 33 tweets per user in Melbourne. Um, okay, those are our city level scenarios. Let's go to the map and see the suburb level scenarios. As you can see, we have 5 cities and 3 suburb level scenarios. Uh, let's just use Melbourne for illustration. First, income level and tweet sentiment. The reason why we have this scenario is that we want to see whether people have a greater income will post more, positive tweets. The color showing on the map represents the income level for each suburb. The darker the color is, the higher the average income the suburb has. Now, if I click on the suburb, we can see 2 pie charts. The left one says about like 54% of the tweets from Docklands are neutral, and about 41% of them are positive, and about 5.2% are negative. We did this by analyzing tweet sentiment. Um, the right pie chart says that about 56% of people from Docklands have middle income, and about 28% of them are, have low income, and 15.5% for high income. Um, we also have similar pie charts for other suburbs. If we scroll down, we can see the horizontal comparison across suburbs in Melbourne. Each suburb has 2 bars. One is the proportion of high income people, and the other one is the ratio of number of positive tweets to number of negative tweets. We can clearly see that there is a relationship. Suburbs with bigger proportion of high income people do have more positive tweets. Okay. Secondly, vulgar tweets and education. The darker the color is, the bigger vulgar tweets proportion is. The left pie chart represent the relative contribution that people do and don't complete year 12 contribute to the overall total. The red one shows that the proportion of young people who are or are not in study or work. And for the bar chart, we use a scaled proportion of vulgar twist, to see the results clearer. Uh, that's 10 times the proportion. Um, and the proportion of people with low education achievements. I don't know what's going on with this, but no offense. Uh, we can see that there is a relationship saying that suburbs with higher proportion of people with low education achievements have bigger proportion of vulgar tweets. The last one is tweeting language and migration. The darker the color is, the higher the non-English tweet proportion is. The left pie chart um, has 2 slices, which are proportions of people do and don't speak English at home. Uh, as for the right one, it has proportions of where people were born. Okay, and uh, go to the bar chart. Um, oh, there is a relationship, as we can see, um, between non-English tweet proportion and proportion of people don't speak English at home. Oh, and we also have similar analysis for other cities. Um, let me see. That's Sydney and Brisbane. And Perth. Okay, I guess that is for today. Thank you so much for watching.